Hey YouTube, Stephen here yet again. 2 videos in as many days. It's hard to imagine. I did promise you I'd be making some more, but the reason I'm coming today is about the time I was making that last video, got a knock on the door and the package was delivered. I was expecting it because I ordered it, but thought I might share it with you. So, go over the housekeeping as usual, smoking my little Bones Author, kind of that 320 shape. I absolutely love this pipe. For those of you that have Bones, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you that don't have a Bones pipe, well, you better get one. Sort of cheated on the coloring a little bit when I'm done smoking it, and of course when it's still warm, I just take it and rub it in my beard because I always have a lot of beard balm or beard oil in my beard, and it's colored it very, very nicely. And it shines it up a little bit, gives it kind of a sheen. And of course the neighbors, I kind of wonder when I'm out smoking on my front porch there what they might think. This guy's rubbing his pipe in his beard. But yeah, it's worked out real nice. It colored very quickly. So kind of cheated on that one a little bit. But anyway, come to you today kind of talking about rarer tobaccos. And in this pipe I'm smoking when there was a lot of talk about the Syrian Latakia, and of course I'm a Latakia fan. It's my favorite type of tobacco, and they were talking about Syrian Latakia is probably done and it was running out and you aren't going to see it very, very much longer. I went out and got the HH Vintage Syrian, the big ceramic jar with a pound of the tobacco, and I bought a couple of tins just for opening. And then I bought some Frogmorton Across the Pond. And of course then there was the fear of Syrian Latakia drying up and being hard to find, but I didn't realize when I popped the tin and started smoking this that then McClelland would go under and we would lose them forever. So now this one I keep it just for kind of special occasions or kind of when I'm in the mood. So that's it, one tin, then it'll be gone. That's kind of how it works. It comes and goes, doesn't it? But the package that got dropped off, as so many of the online retailers do, if there's something that's not available, you can put in your email address and they'll email you when the product comes due. And I've done that for things like Bengal Slices or Fusilier's Ration, or the more common tobaccos that stay on the market but they just run out, and that's very handy. And I never had hoped to be notified of this particular blend that arrived, and I was, and I was very surprised that I got an email and it said there are 2 bags available for you, and you have 4 days to take care of this transaction, or we will move them to the next person in line. So I took the chance to buy one. So I got myself a bag of Stonehaven. It's one of those things. In 4 years of smoking a pipe, I've never been able to buy any. I did have a tin of Penzance. When my son was playing hockey in Chicago, they put a sheet of ice on Soldier Field, and some of you remember this from a video long ago, but they put a sheet of ice on Soldier Field, and my son's college team got to play on that sheet of ice. So we were in Chicago for a couple of days and went to I-1 and fell in love with the place. I mean, if you haven't been to they say the oldest tobacconist in the country, and my gosh, what an incredible place. But so I went in there and bought a pipe as a remembrance, and I asked the fellow if he had any Penzance. He said, well, yes, I do. And he had to go in the back and dig, and out he comes with a tin. $10, So I bought that and smoked it up, and it's sitting up there in the tin somewhere, and that's the last of that. But my friend Eddie Gray, the Pipe Nook, sent me a couple samples one time, and I think that it was Stonehaven. And I think there might have been a little Penzance in that box he sent me. So I got to try the Stonehaven, and I liked it, but I put the rest away. There was just enough for 2 or 3 pipes of it, and so it's been sitting there ever since. So when Iwan Reese said that this was available, I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to try the one that I have just to make sure, it's something I like. And it's good. It's more a Virginia, kind of a more traditional Virginia, and I'm more of a Latakia type guy. I think Penzance is probably more my bent. But it's one of those things, when this bag is available, you fall for the hype, you're going to get it, and I got one bag. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to hoard it. I get a little bit for myself, and pass that other bag to someone else, make them happy. You know, it's not something I'm going to eBay or anything like that. I just get a little bit for myself, and someday maybe it'll come up again, and you know, that's how it works. I'm not going to spend all day on the computer searching this stuff out. There's a lot of good tobaccos out there, and I just don't have the time for that sort of thing. So anyway, I've got it. I'll smoke it, but I guess my main question is if I decide to store it for a while. Some of you folks that have had the Stonehaven and Penzance and the bags, are they a viable way to store the tobacco, or do I need to jar it up? If I jar it, of course, I'll have a larger jar and then a small jar for dipping into. But if not, if the bag is viable, and I've seen a lot of videos where guys have, I don't know how they do it, but they have boxes of this stuff and that's all left in the bag. So I think it's probably a viable way of keeping it. So at least keep it in there for a while. But throw a comment down there if you've had any experience, good or bad, with the Esoterica bags, and whether they get, you know, if they stay airtight or not. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got today. I was going to spin you around here a little bit. I mentioned yesterday or day before there that you know, I'm down in my little smoking cellar. We'll call it a cellar. Got a whole bunch of my knickknacks and bits and bobs and junk and stuff that I can't seem to get rid of, and one of them was all the tins that I've had through the years, and I'd mentioned that, and I thought I'd spin you around and let you see kind of what I've done down here. A little tiny cabinet at the top there, I had bought that on Facebook Marketplace. You know, in the picture I thought, well, that might hold pipes. Well, it's it's not very deep at all, so it holds tobacco tins very well, and I put a bunch of the Dunhills, and well, there's a Penzance in there, an old antique velvet can, some matchbooks and whatnot. So that turned out kind of nice. But yeah, I've got all my tins just sitting here willy-nilly on this kind of ratty looking shelf. Like I said, I think this was a canning room years ago. So anyway, works good for me. And it keeps me from smoking upstairs, and I don't have to brave the outside elements. So anyway, thought I'd stop in, just say hi. Take good care.